What is going on, everybody? It's the Frost, and we're here for Monday Night Raw's review for last night's episode with the return of Goldberg, the continuation of the Who Done It with Roman Reigns. We have new women's tag team champions. Is it the best team that won? No, but at least they got them off of the moronics, the idiotics, whatever you want to call them, and they can stay in catering where they belong. Last night's show was not the best show ever. Last night's show was not a great show, but last night's show happened. It was confirmed Goldberg is going to be Dolph Ziggler's opponent at SummerSlam. It was a red herring for Miz. I guess that match is going to be happening next Monday on Raw, according to The Miz. Also, we had Samoa Joe, you had Samoa Joe in the middle of this show come out and say, I'm shutting Raw down until me and Roman Reigns have a one-on-one, and Roman Reigns apologizes to me for every single person out there attacking and saying that I attacked Roman Reigns. Roman gets there, a car hits him, tries to hit him as he jumps back into his car. We go to commercial break. During commercial break, Samoa Joe actually breaks character, opens, pretty much kicks the door to make sure it stays open, and makes sure that Roman Reigns is okay. So, adding that bit of realism that who the fuck actually did this. They went from forklift accident to hit and run, attempted murder. It's like, goddamn, did they go dark pretty fast. R-Truth won the 24/7 joke eventually after Mike Kanellis pinned his wife in her. I don't even care. It's just like, all you need to know is that the title's back on Truth one way or another. Tonight's show opened from the PPG Paints Arena in Pennsylvania with the entire roster on the stage, and we get a We Stand With You with Dayton, Ohio, and El Paso, Texas, after the 29 people who died between both places, at least 29 people died between both places. Nice touching tribute. Then we go to black screen, and I think for the first time since the week after Raw 25, Monday Night Raw, unless I'm missing something, because I've been watching Raw live everywhere else, Monday Night Raw actually opened up with his opening video package, which I was like, holy shit. During the video package, though, Samoa Joe standing on top of the announce table, he starts yelling at Michael Cole, Corey Graves when they're young. Joe rants about being blamed for last Tuesday's mystery attack on Roman Reigns. Being wrongly accused, interrupting Cole and Graves after they interrupt him. He's like, Cole, it's your time to talk. You're the one who should talk. This is when you talk. Corey Graves and Michael Cole trying to talk Joe down, and WWE.com ran a poll. Over 80% of people think it was Samoa Joe. I don't know who voted in that poll, but you people are effing stupid. Just more, and so on and so forth. This is WWE. It looked good. Samoa Joe did look good in this for a bit. He keeps yelling. He's yelling. He says when this is done, when Roman Reigns gets here, this show's gonna get shut down till I get an apology. And if anybody has a problem with that, you can if anyone has a problem with that, he says, and before we can finish that, out comes Becky Lynch to her music, as we're having Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair versus Natalya and Trish Stratus. This match makes absolutely no sense. Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair should still hate each other. And having them on the same side make no sense. Especially since Natalya's been portrayed as a heel against Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair is a heel. Don't you think Trish and Becky Lynch should have been teaming together? Now, this match was pretty much, and yes, Becky Lynch versus Natalya is a submission match as of yesterday. It is going to be a submission match. That is fine. It should be a good match between those two. Now, this match can be broken down into a couple things. The entire match was pretty much Natalya getting her ass kicked by Charlotte Flair. Becky wants to tag in, Charlotte bonks on her, and then as soon as Becky tags in, Charlotte jumps her. Natalya takes advantage of that as Charlotte Flair leaves, puts her in the sharpshooter. She gets to the bottom rope, and Natalya will not let go. Eventually, she gets counted out, so Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch win. She finally pulls Becky Lynch off of the ropes, holds it down until Trish Stratus pulls her off, and then Natalya shoves Trish Stratus, and that was that. Now, I don't get why they did this match. This match was completely a waste of time. I will praise the fact that Charlotte Flair and Trish Stratus did not touch in this match. They did not have a single moment in this match where they start having a fight or anything. Save that for Sunday. Becky and Natalya have wrestled each other at least once or two or three times, so that wasn't a big deal. Charlotte Flair, of course, beat the hell out of Natalya like she's done many times, but that is what you do. You do not want to have a big match. This is like when the build for WrestleMania with Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch was, before they decided to muddy that up. It was Becky and Ronda Rousey just staring face to face with each other, not touching whatsoever. That's how that match should have went. From Royal Rumble to WrestleMania, those two should have never touched. It would have been a lot more epic than it ended up being. So having Becky Lynch pretty much get Natalya take a beating was fine, and then having her get the sharpshooter on Becky Lynch after a cheap shot from Charlotte is absolutely fine as well. Lynch recovers and limps around as her music plays. Trish checks on her as that is that. Now, we did, of course, get another round of no wrestling during commercials for one match last night, which was the women's elimination tag team match. But this etiquette of only having no wrestling during matches seems to be going away completely, and thank God, because goddamn was that boring. And we see what happened last week between Andrade and Rey Mysterio. So we had Rey Mysterio versus Andrade, and these two cannot have a bad match. Why is this not on pay-per-view? I talked about it on Unscripted on Sunday, that there's been a feeling that there's going to be a hair versus mask match because of what happened last week with Andrade tearing the mask off. But yet they throw it here, so I guess they realize that, hey, we're going to have 15 plus matches on SummerSlam if we add this match or that match. So let's put them here on Monday Night Raw. So we got a standard match between these two. Another great match. Back and forth matches. We had a sunset flip bomb from Rey Mysterio to Andrade. A wicked Canadian destroyer, which they did not give it a name this time. No sunset overdrive or whatever they want to call it, the Panama Sunrise or anything. They did not say Canadian destroyer. They just said, what a wicked move. What a crazy move. That was it. And Rey Mysterio looks to have this one won until he hit the 619. He goes up for the splash, but Zelina Vega distracts him. Andrade gets the knees up, looks to go for a win off of that, does not get it. Goes for the DDT, does not get it. Rey Mysterio ends up in the ropes. Andrade has the referee distracted as he pretty much what happened is he's going to tear at the mask again. He wants to take that mask off. He wants to ruin, which by the way, it's never happened, I don't think, in WWE, but a wrestling mask being torn off during a match is an automatic disqualification in any form of wrestling, plain and simple. I know it's usually done in Mexico, but it is definitely an automatic disqualification. And I think that should be something that's enforced just in case it happens. But he's whipping at the mask, referee pulls him off. While that's happening, Rey Mysterio's in the corner. Zelina Vega comes up, hits him with a stunner of sorts. Rey Mysterio bounces off the ropes. Andrade comes around, hammerlock DDT, 1, 2, 3. That is that. Andrade beats Rey Mysterio. Good, he should. By the way, the wildcard rule was way out of bounds last night because you had Fire and Desire, you had the New Day, you had Mandy versus you had who was the other team? You had like two-thirds of the women's tag teams match tonight was from SmackDown. And I don't count the Idiotics at the time because they were the tag team champions, and you don't do that. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Asuka and Kairi Sane. So that's like 6 people right there. Like, they went way overboard with this wildcard rule. And it's funny because they don't mention the wildcard rule anymore at all. So what are we supposed to call it? It's just everyone running wild? But as I spoke on Sunday, the wildcard rule looks to be coming to an end very, very soon. I don't know when that's going to happen. I just hope it's like tomorrow, next week. End this wildcard rule because I shouldn't be seeing the New Day, Asuka, Kairi Sane, Fire and Desire, the and all these other people coming from Raw to SmackDown. It's just too much. You need to have superstars from Raw being built up on Monday Night Raw for pay-per-view matches for Monday Night Raw. And you need people on SmackDown to be building up SmackDown Live and building matches up for SmackDown Live on pay-per-views. And it's just so bad. Absolutely bad. And it does not help the shows. WWE, this like last week I guess was supposed to be the most Paul Hendrick-centric show that we had. This week we had more of the same with Vince McMahon, so I don't know what they're thinking, but this show's not getting any better. Miz and Dolph Ziggler was signed the SummerSlam contract on Miz TV with Shawn Michaels. I don't know why Shawn Michaels has to be there. Also, Kurt Angle will be the special referee for Cedric Alexander versus Drew McIntyre. 2 reasons Kurt Angle was there last night. 1, it was his hometown, and Corey Graves is not getting cheap pops in Pittsburgh, PA because he's on commentary. And B, we'll talk about that in a moment. They go through the 24/7 stuff. Like I said, R-Truth got it back eventually. Charlie Caruso is backstage with Becky Lynch. Becky isn't worried about Natalya having the home country advantage at SummerSlam. She says Natalya has been letting Canada down for her entire career. Why would she stop now? One thing Natalya's career need is Becky Lynch, and she will give Natalya's people a new hero on Sunday. We cut to Sarah Schreiber and Natalya for a response. Natalya promises there will be a big celebration in Canada. And everything coming out of Natalya's mouth for this entire backstage interview was every sense of the word cringe. Oh my god, I wanted to rip my head off with how bad this was. She said there'll be a big celebration on Sunday and says, Becky Lynch, you can't break my arm at SummerSlam, Becky Lynch, but when I get the sharpshooter on you, Becky Lynch, I'm going to make you tap out, Becky Lynch. I'm like, oh god, you don't have to say Becky's name more than once. The entire cringe that this is was just like, wow. How this woman got a title shot is beyond me because she can't cut a goddamn promo without saying someone's name 3 or 4 times and being boring as can be. Universal Champion Brock Lesnar was backstage with Paul Heyman. We go to commercial break. We come back. And it's the usual introduction as Universal Champion Brock Lesnar was out there. Basically what it was is that Paul Heyman comes out, does his usual shtick. Paul said that Seth Rollins is here tonight. He has more balls than brains, and out comes Seth Rollins. I knew he was going to be here tonight, but what they're trying to tell with Seth Rollins, I don't get. I honestly do not get why Seth Rollins is coming out limping. He literally looked like he was walking down like he had both his hips dislocated. Like the beatdown last week got both his hips dislocated. Oh, again, by the way, anybody who argued with me last week that everything that we saw between Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins was real, and Brock Lesnar went off the unscripted, and he went into business for himself, you were out of your fucking mind. And this last night showed that everything that they did last week was 100% to the plan. Do you feel stupid yet? I bet you do. So he gets into the ring and looked for a second like he was faking the entire injury because he charges at Brock Lesnar, but Brock Lesnar takes him down immediately. He gets his ass kicked again and again and again. Was it anywhere close to last week? No. But he gets beat down again. F5, 1 F5. Seth Rollins is down. Universal title raised in the air. Lesnar walks off, and we go to commercial break. We come back from break. They show us what happened, and we go to the ring with Seth Rollins in the ring. He says, if this is all worth it. Week after week, is it? He says, this is all he's ever wanted. Some fans respond with a what? Fans did not give 2 shits about this entire promo. Seth Rollins is supposed to be portrayed as a sympathetic babyface. Seth Rollins cannot be a sympathetic babyface. It doesn't fucking work. Rollins guarantees he will beat Brock Lesnar for the Universal title on Sunday. Exits the ring and limps up the ramp, clutching his ribs. He loves this. He loves this business. He wants. It's just the fans did not care. They're trying to portray Seth Rollins as something he is not. First, they want him to be cool. Now they want him to be sympathetic. You can't have it both ways. You can't be a cool badass and a sympathetic babyface at the same time. It does not work. Charlie Caruso is backstage with Hall of Famer Kurt Angle. Fans pop from the arena. Angle talks about being back in his hometown, and here come the tag team champions of NXT, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, introduce themselves. They plug their title defense on Sunday's Takeover. On Saturday's Takeover, they go on and pull out a red Solo cups from a cooler. Ford starts pouring some milk that he had. Angle says he promised his wife not he wouldn't do anything crazy. They talk about Angle being their hero, and he agrees to have just 1 cup of milk. Which, okay, I guess milk's bad for Kurt Angle. Drew steps in the shot and says he comes in peace. Just wants to make sure Angle calls the match with Cedric Alexander down the middle because of their past. And taunts Kurt Angle is like, didn't I tap you out with your own ankle lock last time we were in the ring? And just want to make sure you're calling the match down the middle, because if you don't, I will crack your skull open. And he walks off. The Viking Raiders versus Jay Alexander and Eric Abraham. You know, Hanson and Rowe, the Viking Raiders, when they were on the independent scene still, they were working New Japan and whatnot. They came into the little-known promotion of What Culture Pro Wrestling at one time. And they took on Scott Wainwright and Will Ospreay for the WCPW Tag Team Championships. Wainwright goes down in that match, and everything those guys planned to do for that match was out the window. And Scott and Hanson and Rowe and Will Ospreay called one of the best matches one of the best handicap matches I have ever seen to get the titles onto the Viking Raiders, or the War Machine at the time. They go to NXT eventually. They have a year path of destruction in NXT. People chanting war, 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 war over and over and over. These guys have not been off the jobber train for a very long time. The crowd does not care about the Viking Raiders. The crowd has no reaction. There's no chance of war, 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 war anymore. There's no cheering, no booing, no nothing. Crowd does not care. The crowd was silent for this match. Win by Thor's Hammer. Viking Raiders win. Get these. This is what you gotta say, is WWE has nothing they can do with the Viking Raiders. Why not have them squash Jimmy and Jay? Why not have them go out there and have a match with Jimmy and Jay, and have Jimmy and Jay, because Jimmy can't stay off the sauce, Jimmy keeps getting in trouble, have the Viking Raiders take out the Usos. How hard is that? How hard is that? You could have those do that. But they didn't. So, Viking Raiders win another match in just seconds, and I'm over it. The Viking Raiders need to go back down to NXT, become the War Raiders again, and remind people how good they are, going for those tag team titles after the Street Profits lose them to the Undisputed Era, and we move on from there. The announcers pay tribute to Harley Race, who was passed away at the age of 76 last Thursday. We see wrestlers comment on Race from Twitter, back from break, and they lead us to a tribute video, a nice tribute video, that if the two massacres would not have happened on Sunday, or 13 hours within each other, then I'm pretty sure they would open Monday Night Raw with the Harley Race tribute, but because of that, they did not. Nice package. Whoever does these video packages for Monday Night Raw needs to get paid extra. They are that good at this. Drew McIntyre versus Cedric Alexander. This match never happens as Drew McIntyre attacks Cedric Alexander from behind. They have a nice little Pier 6 brawl on the outside. Cedric Alexander hits, I believe it was a tornado DDT onto the concrete between the ramp and the ringside area. Both men are down. Lights go down. Everything happens. The Fiend comes out, mandible claw to Kurt Angle, and he is taking out Kurt Angle with the same move that he did Mick Foley 2 weeks ago. So it looks like the Mandible Claw is moved on to Bray Wyatt, and I think that is a good thing. I honestly think him keeping Sister Abigail as his finisher was a terrible idea. Sister Abigail was the embodiment of Bray Wyatt of old. This is Bray Wyatt new. This is Fiend / Mr. Rogers version of Bray Wyatt. He needed a new finisher. Mandible Claw works for me. Awesome. Just awesome. The OCs versus the New Day. This match lasted about 2 seconds as AJ Styles gets involved. They start fighting, and out comes Ricochet to help send them off. So we go to commercial break, and we have a normal 6-man tag match. A generic, boring, this had to happen match. Now, Luke Gallows in Japan would wear face paint to the ring for big matches, or for matches. I don't know if they were just big matches or all of his matches or most of his matches. But he actually came out last night with face paint on, and I think that was awesome. It made him look it made him stand out and look like, hey, that guy looks like a badass. So good to see them using that. And hey, I guess when you sign probably the biggest contract you'll ever see in your life, that's grounds for you to be able to afford to pay for your bills and your family and everything, and get your face paint back. So good job. We come back from break, and it's the New Day and Ricochet versus the OCs. OCs pick up the win. Actually, shockingly, when I was watching this match, I was like, 3 people in this match are absolutely bulletproof. With that, if they lose, it's not going to be a big deal. AJ Styles, Big E, and Xavier Woods. Plain and simple. Ricochet still being established by the WWE. And Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson have to work their ways up to be reestablished, as they were fucked over for 2 years. So the ones that need, somebody who needed to get pinned. AJ didn't need to be pinned. The OCs did not need to be pinned at all. So good to see that the OCs hit the Magic Killer on Xavier Woods as Ricochet drop kicks AJ out of the ring. Anderson ends up hitting a big DDT on Woods, tags in Gallows. Magic Killer, Gallows pins Woods, 1, 2, 3. Awesome to see. I've seen better 6-man tag matches, but Ricochet, AJ Styles at SummerSlam this coming Sunday should be a lot better. As I said, I'm probably going to do a review on Monday, because it's just going to be way too long, especially if there's supposed to be 15 matches. I don't think there's going to be 15 matches, because they took the women's tag team titles and put them on Raw, and they took another match too, right? We already saw. They took another match, I'm pretty sure, which is coming up soon, and off of that show too. So let's see here. Joe is backstage talking to a staffer who informs him that Reigns is almost here. Joe tells the guy to inform everyone that Raw is now shut down, and he walks to the ring. Cole says Roman Reigns is almost here. We see a video package of last Tuesday's mystery attack on Reigns. Out comes Samoa Joe. Joe takes the mic and calls out Reigns. Joe says he's not waiting for Reigns any longer and is going to give Roman the chance to walk down the aisle, get in the ring, and apologize for Joe being accused of the attack. Reigns doesn't appear, and Joe says that's fine, we'll play it his way, exits the ring, and tosses a steel chair back in. Joe takes a seat in the chair and says Raw is now officially shut down until Reigns comes and apologizes to him in person. Counts to 3, but there's no sign of Reigns. Joe says he's got all night. All Reigns has to do is walk to the aisle unless he's scared to. Goes about all night and will keep the people here all night until Reigns shows. Continues to yell at him. Reigns for the chair. Fans start chanting for CM Punk, because of course they do. No one wants to just see somebody there sit in the middle of the ring. It's got kind of boring really fast. He's going to greet Reigns in the parking lot, and he exits the ring. Marches to the back. We see Joe walking out to the back parking lot, approaching an SUV. As he pulls up, Reigns steps out of the truck, and he has words with Joe. And he's like, you see Roman from him go, oh shit, and dives back into his car as another car comes and just nails the SUV. Joe, stunned at what just happened, we go to commercial break. During commercial break, the car speeds away, backs up and speeds away. tinted windows, so we had no idea who's in the car. It could have been just some kind of stunt driver, which I'm pretty sure it was, just to get the shot right. Joe pulls the door open, kicks it to make sure it's open, and Joe sits there and he tells them to stay down, telling them to get a medic over here. Joe breaks character to make to sell this entire thing, which is absolutely good on this entire thing. Triple H eventually comes out to check on Roman Reigns. Reigns is clutching his shoulder. So who attacked Roman Reigns? Here's the sad part. They have to have a conclusion for this tomorrow, but tonight, if Roman Reigns is to have a match at SummerSlam. You're not gonna have Roman Reigns show up at SummerSlam and want to have a match just happen. You gotta have this happen next week or tomorrow night. Now, it feels like this entire thing is rushed. You go from forklift accident to Roman getting almost hit by a car. They've gone dark very, very fast. There's that meme where it's like, whoa, that escalated quickly. Yes, it kind of has, because that was absolutely ridiculous. You don't do that. You don't do that. So who's gonna be Roman Reigns' attacker? Now, if Roman Reigns is not wrestling at SummerSlam, then they're gonna pull this as long as they can. Do I expect to see Roman at SummerSlam? Yeah, I do. But who's it gonna be? It wasn't a Prius. It wasn't one of those cars that somebody like Daniel Bryan would probably be driving. So could it be Buddy Murphy? Could it be Daniel Bryan? It could be anybody. Who? Who the hell knows? Fatal 4-way elimination match for the women's tag team titles. The Kairi Sane and Asuka versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Fire and Desire versus the Idiotics. The nightmare is over. The nightmare is over. The tag team titles are off from the Idiotics. They got eliminated first. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville eliminated the Idiotics right out of the gate. After every elimination, we had a commercial break, it seemed like, which is fine. It was one elimination match. It's what they want to do. So that happened. Fire and Desire were eliminated next by Kairi Sane and Asuka. And then Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are your new women's tag team champions after a twisted bliss to Kairi Sane after Asuka was sent to the outside, beaten up in the middle of between the ring and the ring apron. After she was beaten up by Nikki Cross, she took a drop kick to the back of the head. 1, 2, 3. And they're your tag team champions, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Now, is this any better? No, not at all. Nikki Cross is one hell of a talented woman. Her tag team partner is afraid of wrestling. She actually took bumps in this match. I'm really surprised. I mean, we had when we came back from the first break and we had the triple threat. Nikki Cross was in there with, I can't remember if it was Kairi Sane or Asuka. She goes over to her corner and Alexa Bliss is just like whispering something to her. So Nikki Cross goes over and tags in one of the members of Fire Desire. Well, it was either Fire Desire started, I think it was, I don't remember who started. But anyway, she tags in somebody from another team who wasn't in the match. And she goes and scurries over to her side. And it's like, so Nikki Cross is having, Alexa Bliss's laziness and poor wrestling skills is rubbing off on Nikki Cross, and Nikki Cross is not benefiting from it. She's actually becoming worse. Not a good thing. But anyway, Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss are tag team champions. I'm more excited for Nikki Cross winning a championship and doing something on the main roster than I am for Alexa Bliss. Now, the fact that Alexa Bliss is seen on TV 2-3 segments a week, at least we'll get the tag team titles on TV. One of the biggest problems with the team of Peyton Royce and Billie Kay winning the tag team titles and keeping them for this long is they weren't ever on TV, and if they were, they got beat in seconds. These titles have been worthless since they took them off the Boston Hut Connection. You gave them to Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, who are a makeshift tag team as it is. You didn't give them to Fire and Desire, who are the only legit tag team that you have still because they've been teaming together for months, or Kairi Sane and Asuka. At least so off the Idiotics, probably going to give them a little bit of credibility because at least they're going to be on television. Because you know, Nikki Cross doesn't matter to WWE. Maybe Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are legit friends backstage, and maybe Nikki Cross is benefiting from Alexa Bliss being her friend because she gets to be on TV. I hope that's what it is. And with Alexa Bliss being one of Vince McMahon's favorites or WWE's favorites, they're going to be on TV. The tag team titles will be on TV, and at least they'll have some notoriety over what they had recently. We got a ring and special edition of Miz TV as we are at the end of the show. Wow. Miz will sign his SummerSlam contract with Dolph Ziggler. He announced his plug 2K20 with a. By the way, we heard for months that 2K, we heard for at least the last few weeks or months since Sasha Banks left, that she came back to WWE in a way that she went to film a TV spot or a commercial for WWE 2K20. The commercial was them in this big fancy house doing a party in which you had legends, you had superstars of today. They had, if you watched it, they had a row of photos, like pictures in gold frames of superstars and legends that we lost, from Randy Savage, Eddie Guerrero, and a couple other ones that I couldn't catch off the top of my head right now. Becky Lynch crashes the party from above, from a glass window. Says, sorry about your window, and then Roman hands her a glass. They toast, and they are the cover athletes. A source said that this entire promo was supposed to be equal to the NFL 100 commercial, where they're all in this ballroom. There's a big, huge cake with a gold football on top. Roger Goodell on stage saying, congratulations to 100 years, or let's celebrate 100 years of NFL. I don't remember who it is. One of the players goes to try and grab a handful of cake. The ball falls down. Someone says fumble, and everybody scrambles for it. You have some guys passing the ball and everything. That's they're trying to say what they did for 2K20's commercial was anywhere close to that. You're absolutely fooling yourself. That is a ridiculous statement. 110%. We saw minor gameplay footage of Roman Reigns, Becky Lynch doing a couple moves and making their entrances, and it looks like 2K15 or 2K16 or whatever it is. These games do not look any better. These games look like shit. And here's the thing: gameplay over game graphics. Plain and simple. That should be the rule for everybody. Gameplay over graphics from start to finish. That's how it should always be. I don't care how good the game looks. I don't care. If we have Asuka having her arms stuck behind her as she's stuck in an animation walking, or somebody in the middle of a fight stuck in between the barricade, if glitches like that happen, this game's going to be dead like that. There's going to be a new spotless showcase mode where it's the Four Horsewomen evolution and the evolution of the Women's Revolution with the Four Horsewomen, which is fine. They're gonna have a SmackDown edition because it's the 20th year. It's 20 years of SmackDown, so you definitely want to go check that out as well. This game has to be better than it has been. Gameplay, graphics do not matter if the game sucks. If we're seeing glitch after glitch after glitch, which glitches are going to happen in games, but if you're going to have those terrible glitches and the gameplay sucks, the storyline sucks, everything else sucks, why the fuck would I want to buy that game? Back from break, The Miz is in the ring. He brings out Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels. Still don't know why Shawn has to be there. Introduces Ziggler, and Ziggler rants about carrying WWE can be the best thing to hit pro wrestling, even though he's been there for 10 plus years. That would have been 9 years ago. He talks about how he's the only legend in the ring and will finally get the credit he's due when he wins at SummerSlam. Signs the SummerSlam contract. Miz gets fired up and says he can't wait to get his hands on Ziggler next Monday on Raw. Ziggler is a little confused. Miz says, it looks like you're a little confused, but you didn't read the fine print of that contract. Says he thought that he will have many SummerSlam moments still to come in his career since he's still young, but the guys Ziggler is facing might not have many left. Miz reveals that Ziggler just signed a contract to face someone else. He turns to Shawn,
who's wearing an NXT hat. I fucking love every time Shawn Michaels comes out, because every time he does, he has that NXT hat on because he's so proud of what he's doing down in there. And I love when someone has pride in what they do and shows it off to everybody. Dolph Ziggler shows up and looks at Shawn Michaels and starts bad mouthing him off microphone. Ziggler, Shawn says, "Well, Ziggler, it's not me." All of a sudden, fans start chanting Goldberg because we all knew it was coming. Miz just cracks his big smile on his face, and he's like, "Oh, listen. They know, but you must not know." And Goldberg's music hits, and out he comes with some kind of bad Christmas sweater on. Chases off Ziggler. Michaels and Miz watch from the outside. Ziggler enters the ring, and Goldberg enters the ring. Ziggler retreats. Goldberg stands at the podium, goes and signs the contract. Goldberg signs and takes the mic and says, "Dolph Ziggler, guess what, son? You're next." His music starts back up. Ziggler is backing up the ramp, throwing a fit as Goldberg looks on from the ring. Ziggler turns around, bam! Sweet chin music, and that's how Raw is going off the air. Not the best episode we've ever seen. It's not the worst, but Monday Night Raw is not getting any better. It is great to see Nikki Cross win a championship. If it's not the main championship, at least this woman's getting some kind of recognition for her work. From this beginning of this year to when she came up from NXT with being obscure to doing absolutely nothing until we got to WrestleMania's Women's Battle Royal. Going through that, not doing anything for a couple more weeks, becoming Alexa Bliss's friend, being all cool, calm, and collected backstage. She's becoming more of what she was in NXT. It seems like more crazy and out there. But for Nikki Cross to win a championship, I'm absolutely happy for her. Is it with Alexa Bliss? Yes. That is nothing we can do about. But Nikki Cross winning, I will take that any day of the week. That is your Monday Night Raw review. Monday Night Raw, if I was to give it star ratings or a rating of any kind, I'd say it was a 5 out of 10. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on twitch.tv and Twitter at The France Club. Find me on my other YouTube channel at The France Plays, where I play through Call of Duty. The epilogue goes up today. Hopefully starting Doom tomorrow, if not on Thursday. Tomorrow, if not on Thursday. But I will see you guys either tonight or tomorrow for SmackDown Live. Wednesday or Thursday for NXT, and then we're going to do a double prediction show for NXT TakeOver New York, Toronto 2, and SummerSlam, because I figure one video for both of them will be fine. But my name is France, and I will see you guys later.